Putting the Super Bowl in the rearview mirror, we're looking ahead to the start of the Nextel Cup season, beginning in less than 2 weeks. We start a 5-part series tonight, NASCAR 2006. Former NASCAR champ Dale Jarrett says if it has 4 wheels on it, Tony Stewart has probably raced it, and he's probably won in it. Well, probably isn't the right word. Since Stewart began racing in 1978, he's won more than 70 races in at least 15 different types of race cars. As Mike Massaro reports, that number could continue to grow.
Peppering the Midwest are tracks like this. Tracks where at one time Tony Stewart's dreams were covered in dirt. It was from the clay of these tracks that Stewart sculpted a career, highlighted by USAC, IRL, and NASCAR championships.
I truly believe that Tony Stewart's one of the greatest racers on the planet. I think he's unbelievable. He's so diverse, whether it's dirt cars, sprint cars, stock cars, Indy cars. You know, he's raced everything.
He is incredible. He is the A.J. Foyt of this era.
A.J. Foyt is one of only 2 drivers to have won both the Indy and Daytona 500. Like Foyt, Stewart has an aggressive style and sometimes a similar brash personality. Yet the most striking resemblance could be Stewart's versatility.
You know, he's a hard race driver, and he'll go out and run for nothing, the same as I did. I mean, money's one thing, but Tony loves to race.
Tony Stewart makes it a clean sweep here tonight.
I want people to say no matter what type of car he got in, he was great in it. He could win in it. So I don't want to be labeled as an IndyCar driver or a stock car driver or a sprint car or midget driver. I want to be considered a great race car driver no matter what type of car it is.
Today, Stewart occasionally returns to the bull rings where his career began. In December of 2004, Stewart entered the Rumble, a midget car race in Indiana, under a false name.
It's nice to go to a track and just kind of be one of the guys. So, you know, sometimes you go under an alias name and you can go in there and just be one of the guys for a night and not be somebody famous, just be another race car driver out there.
This past December, Stewart returned to the Rumble using his own name and won the 60-lap feature for the 2nd consecutive year. The victory was one of an estimated 21 wins Stewart's had outside of NASCAR since his Nextel Cup rookie season in 1999.
There's no substitute for seat time, so anytime that you can get behind the wheel of a race car, no matter what kind of car it is, it's beneficial to you in some way, shape, or form.
Racing can also be hazardous. During the Chili Bowl, a prominent midget car event in Tulsa last month, Stewart crashed violently, luckily suffering only minor injuries. For Stewart, though, passion outweighs the risk.
I'm not going to live my life being scared of anything. A guy taught me a long time ago, regret what you did do, not what you didn't do. You get one chance at life, and, you know, if I get hurt, I get hurt.
In many minds, Stewart is a throwback to an era when racers would race anything. And while his career will be defined by achievements, Stewart's scope of talent defines his character.
I hope that I can make an impression on people that 15 years down the road, they still remember me and still think about not only what I did in my Cup career, but remembering that not only did I win 2 Cup championships, but I won an IRL championship. I was the first driver to win a Triple Crown in USAC in 3 different national divisions. Those are the things that I'll be proud of, is being versatile, and those are the things that will be important to me when I retire.
The numbers to back up that versatility claim. Stewart won the 1997 IRL title. He now has 2 Nextel Cup championships. But perhaps the accomplishment he's most proud of, as he just said, it was back in 1995, the USAC Triple Crown, where he won the National Midget, Sprint Car, and Silver Crown championships. Tony Stewart's also done the Memorial Day double twice. In 1999 and the year 2001, he raced the Indy 500 and the Coca-Cola 600 on the same day. He had top 10 finishes in each. Coming up tomorrow, it's part 2 of the series. Dale Jr., Jeff Gordon, 2 of the season's biggest disappointments last year. How will 2 of the biggest stars rebound this season?
Once, they covered the entire track. Today, they cover a single yard, the most revered yard of Indianapolis Motor Speedway.
How important are the bricks? They're so important. I've got some. That's how important it is.
A lot of the guys on our crew heard a story that there's a lot of bricks buried out in one of the big streams on the property. And our guys were out there. I know they came back, and I didn't realize all this. And they came back. We were all getting ready to go wash up and go to dinner, and these guys came back mud up to their knees. They'd been in some swamp somewhere digging for bricks, and they actually found some bricks.
In 1994, Jeff Gordon won the inaugural Brickyard 400, followed by Dale Earnhardt in 1995. But it wasn't until 1996, when Dale Jarrett took the checkers, that drivers began genuflecting at the altar of speed.
We were in victory lane doing the celebration. Probably couldn't really believe that everything was happening that was going on around us. And all of a sudden, Todd said, "I've got a great idea. Let's all go out and kiss the bricks at the start-finish line." So we took our whole team, and they were hollering for us to do something else, but we had our mind made up that that's what we wanted to do. You know, we'd never seen it done, and so it was something pretty special.
A new tradition was born, sealed with a kiss.
Kevin Harvick wins the 10th Brickyard 400.
I can't wait to kiss the bricks, man.
Although glazed with rubber, oil, and sand, the battle-scarred bricks are not enough to dissuade a driver's lust. For them, there have been more tender kisses, but few with as much passion.
The kiss of the bricks is by far the best cold kiss you could ever get. There's so much emotion involved that I think you go right past the dirt and the rubber and everything that's laying on the asphalt. So it doesn't really matter at that point. You've earned the right to kneel down and do whatever you want to those poor bricks.
I don't know who was the first one to decide, hey, let's go kiss those bricks after somebody raced on it for 4 hours. You know, it's kind of nasty, but I've got a picture in my office of me and Jimmy and Joe kissing the bricks, and I'm like, dude, those are the best tasting bricks I ever tasted in my life.
How does the kiss of the bricks compare to other kisses you've had?
Ranked second, right behind my wife. So, yeah, I'd have to put it right there.
I made out with the bricks. I mean, I'll just be honest. I did. I was so pumped to get that fourth win that I don't know if there was any tongue involved, but it was a wet one. When you accomplish something like that, then you really don't care what you're kissing. It's about the trophy. It's about the moment.
While the celebratory drinking of milk has been an Indy 500 tradition since 1936, the last two winners, Dan Weldon and Sam Hornish Jr., also kissed the bricks. The Speedway smooch has caught on. NASCAR's tradition has become a universal gesture of respect.
I mean, that row of bricks means so much for that racetrack. Anybody that wins there, you know, should go over there and pay tribute to the bricks.
When I get to be 80 years old in a wheelchair, I'll be thinking back. That snapshot of all of Indy will be kissing those bricks.
The racetrack, it has a very special place in my heart. After you've raced 400 miles and you've won that race, I think you want everybody to know just how much you appreciate it.
It's a special place, and special things happen, and you do things different there because it is, you know, Indianapolis.
And there's a look at the bricks, and you know when the IndyCar drivers at Indy, Rusty, are copying the NASCAR guys, there's something to that tradition. Golf has the green jacket at Augusta. This is a great tradition. What about a couple others that exist in racing?
Well, I tell you, one thing that stands out in my mind right now is definitely Martinsville, Virginia. I've won there several times, and when you win, they give you a big grandfather clock, and that big grandfather clock is something that everybody loves, and they always show off on it. It's just a really neat tradition to be able to have that.
You won it 6 times, though. What do you do with 6 grandfather clocks?
I've got 6 grandfather clocks stuck up in my storage room, you know, and they're pretty cool clocks too, though, Chris.
I know you would have traded one of those clocks for a chance to kiss the bricks after 3 close seconds.
3 second-place finishes here at Indianapolis in the Brickyard 400, and never got to kiss them, but got close.
Coming up, we'll talk about the fate of Gordon, Jr., and Stewart, all on opposite sides of the Nextel Cup chase bubble here. And Rusty will talk about perhaps an improvement in the chase format in the future. Hard to improve on that outfit. Oh, the flavor of Indy. Back here later. Let's go back to the studio.
Qualifying tonight at the Atlanta Motor Speedway for NASCAR's Golden Corral 500. Kasey Kahne won the pole. He was among the earliest of the 52 drivers who made qualifying attempts. Kahne just edged out Ryan Newman, who had taken the pole in Atlanta 6 consecutive times. Noteworthy indeed, just not real newsy. The big news out of Atlanta tonight concerned a 45-year-old regular on the NASCAR Truck Series who qualified 19th. That's right, you heard me. I said 19th. Here's Mike Massaro.
It's not about race, it's about racing.
But it is about race. Bill Lester's Nextel Cup qualifying attempt Friday was the first by a black driver since Willie T. Ribbs in 1986. To date, Wendell Scott's 1963 victory is the only win by a black driver at NASCAR's highest level. Lester knows the absence of color in NASCAR Nation has left a void.
Most minority drivers, I feel, have been discouraged about the lack of opportunity. They knock on the doors and the doors aren't answered. I just didn't take no for an answer.
To realize his dream, though, and make history, Lester needed to first qualify. Not an easy task, considering 17 drivers were vying for just 8 available positions. Lester posted a lap of just over 190 miles per hour, but still more than half the field was yet to take its lap.
I did the best I could out there. You know, I ran 2, I think, fairly solid laps. But nervousness and apprehension because I don't know if I'm in the show or not.
And so the waiting began. Lester huddled in his hauler, watching anxiously.
I think we're all right. I think we're in.
Finally, there was resolution.
Hey, Chip, they just said it bumped me in. That's cool.
Good job, buddy.
Thanks, man.
Good job.
Yeah. And it's a wealth of emotions, but the most overriding one is just extremely joyful. I mean, I'm so happy.
It's still too early to claim victory on any major project like diversity, and we'll never stop working on that. But I think today is a milestone for that effort on behalf of NASCAR and all the industry that surrounds NASCAR. I think it's a sign of things to come.
I just hope that the African-American community, minorities in general, realize that NASCAR is a fun sport that they can all be able to take advantage of, participate in, and enjoy. You know, I've said it before, this is an open door. You know, NASCAR has rolled out the red carpet. It's up to them to walk on it.
Lester will now become just the 6th black driver since 1949 to compete at NASCAR's highest level. And while Lester says he's not ready to unseat the veterans just yet, he's set realistic goals, hoping to parlay his 19th place starting position into a modest top 20 finish. In Hampton, Georgia, Mike Massaro, ESPN.